Looking at the indices space, we have seen a big move lower in terms of the FTSE 100 and the DAX in particular. And those two European markets really provide us with a good outlook as to the fact that we're looking like we could see another big move lower, because both of them have created a double top formation. We'll start off by looking at what's happening at the FTSE 100. This is the daily time frame. Now, it was a bit of a frustrating time for me this week because of the fact that Monday essentially negated the view that I'd had. Essentially, I thought we were going to see a top. With each time that we've seen a top, it's come through that 52 candles and it's come back out. I thought that we'd seen the same kind of thing for another break lower. In actual fact, one big move back towards the upside on Monday, and now we're essentially looking like we're going to be set back on this negative path. If we look at the likes of the MACD, it's rounded over again. That's a leading indicator, this deterioration in the MACD histogram, which means that the distance between these two signal lines in the MACD are now tightening. Stochastics rolling over, moving back below that 80 mark. So we have got some bearish indicators on the daily time frame. This is the 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart shows you exactly what I was talking about. Double top formation in play here. Now, essentially, this neckline here is going to be crucial. 59.11. If we get back up to that, that could be a great selling opportunity. There's no guarantee we will go back up to that. We might just sell straight off very heavily. But I think that the move below that level, and especially a close below that, if we show it on the 1-hour chart, you can see we've got that close now below that 59.11 mark. This break is very bearish and points towards a further move towards the downside. If I gave a projection of this, 152 points lower is around about 57, 58 kind of mark. So that shows that we could have a decent bit of downside to come. But if you look at it again on the daily time frame, you can see that could just be the start of it, really, because we could quite easily be back to those lows around about 5,500 before long if we see the same kind of moves that we've been seeing over the past few months. Now, a similar kind of thing is happening in terms of the DAX. That's the Germany 30 on our charts. This is the daily time frame we've got in play here. Now, this doesn't necessarily show it in the same way that you can see it on the FTSE 100, but if we bring it down into the 4-hour chart, you can see yet again we've got this double top formation. Interestingly, this comes off the back of a double bottom pattern with the projected target higher of 95.63, providing the backstop to this move higher. So essentially, we've got the double top, double bottom, the projection of that marked the top of the market. Now we've got a double top coming into play. So again, if we take a projection or a projected target from this pattern, we've got 269 lower gives us around about 90.50. So 90.50 means that we've got a decent amount of downside to come if we only fulfill the projected target from this double top. But bear in mind, yes, we only fulfilled the projected target from the double bottom, but that's set within a downtrend, and therefore you would think that we wouldn't necessarily run away too much towards the upside, but towards the downside, you'd think that it would be more extended. So I do think that we'd be likely to move past that projected target. And I do think this 8,800 or 87.30 kind of mark actually seems like a likely place for us to end up before long. Looking at what's happening over in the US, Wall Street, so this Dow Jones Industrial Average, we can see that we're moving in a similar manner, but we haven't necessarily created that double top. We haven't broken through this neckline, 16,275. We continue to trade within higher highs, higher lows. But of course, US markets aren't open at the moment, so Europeans, you would think, would be leading the way at the moment. We can all, essentially what you're going to be looking for is a break below this 16,275 kind of mark for us to see that bearish outlook that we're seeing on the Europeans start to shine through in terms of the US markets. But I do think that's likely to happen. It is looking like this move is back on the cards. And when we talk about what's happening in the oil market and the sell-off we're seeing in the oil market, it's looking like we're going to see a similar kind of move towards the downside of the oil market with the creation of a double top in US crude.